meet again, my dear viewers. I hope you've had a fantastic time and that you're ready to spend some time with me, diving into your darkest fears once more. Tonight, I have some more stories from the subreddit Short Scary Stories to share with you, and I hope you'll enjoy them. Let's get started. Our first story for the night is called Beware the Skinwalker, who roams at night and steals your children. Written by the Reddit user Spider Jaw. Beware the Skinwalker. That's what my parents told me. He roams the woods and steals up naughty children who stays out past bedtime. He'll shave your head and steal your face and wear it as a mask. It was a silly story, told around the fires at night to scare young ones into obeying their parents. It worked. Every child returned to home as soon as the golden blazing sun crested the high mountains surrounding our tiny little town. As the last rays of light traveled across the land our ancestors claimed, sweeping like a wave, the children ran to the safety of their wooden homes. They all followed this rule, up until they grew out of their silly superstitions. My Uncle Robin stayed out 3 nights once hunting, they would boast. There's nothing out there to fear more than bears and mountain lions. They would stay out and party late into the night with other young ones, against their parents' wishes. Their parents couldn't get control of their children, so they started sending adults dressed in leather masks to scare the children back into their homes. It was him, I saw it with my own eyes, they would tell each other. He was there, wearing a face and everything. I'm lucky to be alive right now. But again, reason brought them to the same conclusion. No children have gone missing in over a decade. How could the Skinwalker have a face? They would haughtily say. This is merely our parents, trying to stop us from having fun. Why should we let them? They again partied around large bonfires in the woods until late into the night. The parents, dismayed that their tricks had failed, lamented on when they were children and let it continue. There was no main issue with the partying. The children still got up, did their chores and tended to their farms, if a little crankily. That is, until they began to disappear, one by one. Each night one would disappear from around the bonfires, without the others noticing. The children, assuming it was their parents pulling tricks again, continued to party. After 5 disappearances, word got around the town and there was a curfew set. During the day, men would go and seek the woods, and the mothers would sit in their soft and comfy chairs imported from foreign lands and lay their grief down on the ground as they'd rip and tear at their hair. Their cries could be heard all the way into the forest where I was camping in my little cave. Their crying was annoying. Their children were alive, if a little less of what they used to be. I proudly sat and looked at my newest creation. The face before me was perfectly intact. I had botched the other 2 and ripped the sides, ruining the faces, but this one was perfect. That was until I noticed the crinkles in the cheeks. There was suddenly a long and inhumanly deep laugh from farther into the cave. I jumped up and snatched my knife from the bloody cloth and whipped the face the unknown entity in the cave. Shambling out came an 8-legged creature, dripping with moisture from the dank insides of the cave. It was wrapped in hide after hide of what looked like leather. Upon closer inspection, they were perfect faces. They all looked like as if they'd just been freshly ripped off of their victims. A cold shiver went down my spine. This was more than what I was. I was a murderer who wanted something more from their kills. This was something else, something much more evil and ancient. This was the Skinwalker. A little advice from experienced predator, it drawled in a deep and gravelly voice. Use the oil you cook with to help ease out the wrinkles of the face. Our second story is called How to Get Yourself Out of a Locked Bathroom, and it's by the Reddit user Hyper Obscura. So this has happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. Thus, in many ways, I consider myself somewhat of an expert on the subject. There are, of course, subtle differences involved, depending on the layout of your bathroom, but I've tried my best to factor in all possible scenarios. Try the door. If, like me, you have a very sturdy door, this won't do you much good, but try it anyway. It could just be a case of some rusty hinges, or perhaps something blocking it, so give it your best shot. Don't try to kick it, you might end up slipping, potentially harming yourself, or worse yet, falling into the bathtub. Use your shoulder, and really put your hips into it. Try the window. If, like me, you're stuck in a basement bathroom, this won't do you much good. Either there aren't any windows in the room, or they're just too small for you to climb through anyway, so you'll just be wasting valuable time. Call out for help or bang on the doors or windows. If, like me, you're alone in a ridiculously recluse area, this won't do you much good. You'll just be wasting your breath, and that's the one resource you're gonna need. Pick the lock open or destroy the lock. If, like me, you have an electronic lock, this won't do you much good. Messing around with circuit boards and wires will just require you to expose your skin, and that's the last thing you want. Call a locksmith or support for your installed lock. This is, for obvious reasons, a last resort, but if, like me, you're rapidly running out of oxygen, there's simply no other choice. Prepare for the arrival. If, like me, you have a corpse dissolving in the bathtub, do your best to help the process along before the locksmith or support arrives. Fishing out larger pieces and flushing them down the toilet might be necessary, but try to avoid causing plumbing issues by fitting too many body parts down there at once. I hope this proves helpful. Please follow and like for more DIY breakdowns. Our third and last story for the night is called The Lane/Prince, and is written by the Reddit user Disaster Poutine. This procedure is taken at your own discretion and at your own expense. Once started, these instructions cannot be stopped and will have significant consequences regardless of the outcome. Proceed with caution. You will need a cinder block of standard size, 2 coils of rope, 6 feet and 20 feet, a watch, a car with a driver's and a passenger's seat, access to a dock near a large body of water, another human being. Steps. 1. You must arrive at the water body with all the equipment exactly at 2:30 a.m. It's easier if you bind your victim securely with a 20-foot rope before arriving. 2. Take the equipment to the end of the dock while leaving the bound human on the passenger's side of your vehicle. Ensure that they cannot move out of their original seat to the driver's side. 3. Tie your right ankle to the cinder block using the 6-foot rope. Position yourself on the edge of the dock. 4. At exactly 3:05 a.m., close your eyes and forcefully jump into the water with the cinder block. You should sink to the bottom of the water body. Do not untie the cinder block. Do not open your eyes. 5. After 20 seconds, you will feel a large surge of water rushing past your feet. You will also sense a large splash a good distance behind you, along with a new current towards your location. Keep your eyes closed while repeating the phrase in your head. My lovely prince, here I lie. Repeating this phrase should give you a response within 10 seconds. 6. After the 10 seconds, if you feel 2 warm hands running down your back, open your eyes. Untie the cinder block immediately and exit the water. You have summoned the prince. Do not attempt to look at him. Skip to step 8. 7. After the 10 seconds, if you feel a cold hand grip your left ankle, keep your eyes closed, attempt to untie the cinder block, and exit the water or surrender. You have summoned the lane. It won't be painless. If you manage to exit the water successfully, skip to step 9. Important reminder, your victim will always be missing from your car, replaced by a large volume of dirty water. Do not use the vehicle. 8. The prince has reached you first. You will gain the remaining lifespan of your victim, and nobody will remember them. However, you may see them in any reflective surface, soaked in water and glaring murderously at you. They cannot hurt you, but it is recommended that you do not acknowledge them. Enjoy the rest of your life. 9. The lane has reached you first. You will gain the remaining lifespan of your victim, and nobody will remember them. You will see them in every reflective surface you view, huddled with their back facing you. If they do not appear, do not approach any source of water. They are coming for you. You cannot avoid them forever. Enjoy the remainder of your life. Those are all the scary stories for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. You will see them in every reflective surface you will see them in every reflective surface you view. Jesus.